Welcome to Calda Under Love, where we keep up with current happenings in Belize and the Caribbean. We go over hidden gems, trending issues, and people's opinions in a very demure fashion through friendly banter. Tune in every week to get the latest episodes. Today, we'll be discussing our economy. So, why do so many Belizeans believe that the Belizean economy is not doing very well, even though we are a developing country? And compared to other developing countries, we're doing like fairly okay. We have running electricity, constant water, free healthcare, we have an education system. So, why do Belizeans feel as if we're not doing as well as we should be? Because our media and our country is heavily influenced by Western media. So when we do see things on the television, like we see Americans having this and they're having that, we're forgetting that these are first world developed countries. They've been in the game longer
Yes.
than we have. So like, why are we
Mm-hmm.
comparing ourselves to them instead of comparing ourselves to other developing countries to see that okay, we're not doing that
Yes.
bad, as bad as it could be.
They want the better in like the next second. Like as a
Hmm.
government comes in, they just want it like the next day. But these things take time,
That's right.
and the people are also the government, and they have to put in their work for us to see a better Belize.
That's right. We can't just be waiting and expecting our government to get everything done the next day. Like these things take time.
Mm-mm.
Like I mentioned earlier, these other countries that are bigger and way more developed, they've
Mm-hmm.
been in the game for years. You know, they've had a lot of things done. And colloquially, we're still operating under kind of a ish the British crown, God Save the King,
Yep.
because we have this new thing coming up now that they're trying to change the appearance of our currency to include more prominent Belizean figures. I think I saw some notes having famous individuals like George Price, Philip Goldson, not
Yeah.
like,
As
yeah,
the
we're no
father
longer
of
gonna
the
have the
nation.
yes, we're no longer gonna have the queen on there. Like they're getting serious, they're getting real. I'm like, okay, this is getting real. And a lot of people are raising concerns. They're like, okay, they're gonna change the currency, the appearance of it. How will this affect our economy?
As I research, it says that the currency rate of
Yeah.
our money won't go down,
Hmm.
but it's all up to how much they spent on
Hmm.
the like the design and the printing of the money.
Yeah,
How much the government is spending on that. I think that's the part that will affect our
definitely,
country. But other than
absolutely.
that, no.
Yeah, because I asked around and I heard similar takes. Basically, what they were saying is that they are going to spend more money to print money. And when you do print more money, it does affect the economy, but it's going to depend on the acceptability of the Belizean people if we're willing to accept and use the new currency. So I don't know how they're going to work that out, how they're going to disperse it to ensure that there's an equal amount of the new and the old currency out there. We're just going to have to watch and see how all of this plays out. There's so much that I feel like they need to inform the public about because a lot of people have like mixed feelings about this whole new currency thing. So I get that they're trying to do good by introducing the new look, but they also need to do adequate public education to ensure that when the currency is released, people accept it when they're willing to use it and it meets the intended agenda instead of like, it coming out and people just sticking to the old design. They need to properly educate the public, let them know what's going on, why they're doing this. Because I don't know why they're doing this. I really and truly don't know who.
I think one it's more of like to fight against counterfeit money because this money they need
Mhm.
it's to become digitalized, so like no more counterfeit, no more fake money. So
Mhm.
I think it's trying to battle that. I think that's one of the reasons. And then the second one I believe is that they want to be more free from colonize. They want to be decolonized.
Nice.
So
Mhm.
removing the queen.
Realize we're no longer under the British crown. We are independent
Yeah,
daddies now. Yeah.
not really.
We're getting there, we're getting there. But we're doing good, you know. And I love the point that you brought up because this currency thing aside, you did mention that we are moving to a cashless society. Like nowadays, people barely run around with physical cash. Most people either take their credit or their debit card. Most people are using their e-cash or digital wallet. Like or Apple Pay. So I get that they want to introduce a new currency, but we are moving towards a cashless society.
We are. We are. I feel like people are more. I think it's because of crimes. People are afraid
Mhm.
of like having their money stolen, or some people like are very like careless, not responsible with
Mhm.
cash, so they
Yeah,
lose their money. Cause
especially
I'm
with
not
the
good with
increasing
cash.
crime rates. You're right, girl. Speaking of our economy, another great issue that is prominent in our society right now is brain drain. We've noticed that a lot of Belizeans are moving to these Western countries. As we mentioned earlier, we are heavily influenced by the West. But we are seeing
Mm,
that in these countries, they're offering better working conditions, higher pay, benefits for those individuals working in those professions in those countries compared to Belize. Like, for example, teachers, they just had their strike recently. Teachers got your back, right? Teachers, nurses, doctors, lawyers, many of them are leaving the country for greener pastures because, yes, we have fairly good living conditions here in the country of Belize. But if you compare it to the benefits that they're receiving in other countries, like some of them are getting insurance, they're getting a 401k plan, they're getting, you know, extra benefits for working holidays, weekends, nights. Compared to here, like there's a standard pay. And as you mentioned, the economy is, you know, everybody got it hard right now. Things hard for everybody. The cost of living to go up, the pay another go up.
mm. I think our minimum wage is like $5. I said, mm,
Mhm.
that can barely do anything, right?
Honestly, that can't even buy a plate of food. You can't even buy a burger with that. That is cheapest thing that Chinese. You can't even buy a burger with fries. Imagine, tacos I want us to wash it now.
Yeah, you could buy $2 tacos and a dollar water.
Nah, like $2 tacos for breakfast, or tamales for lunch, and a sabutes for dinner. Can.
That-
Girl. And again, like
that's
realistically, I appreciate them for increasing the minimum wage to $5, but let's be so for real. What can $5 get somebody?
I think all workplaces should start paying. I don't know. It should be a law for people to pay people like the workers a
Mhm.
salary that
A
they can
living salary.
afford to live with in Belize. Yes, a living salary.
Amen. Amen. Preach about it. And it's because, like I mentioned, they're giving them like $5 an hour, and most of the time, this pay is not coming with other benefits. So, like, they're not
Yep.
receiving any insurance, they're not receiving
And
anything other than that. So, if
and
they need to,
it's
God
yeah,
forbid, they get sick and they need to go to the hospital. Yes, we have free healthcare for the most part. If
yeah,
the hospital doesn't have what they need, they still need to go to private.
yeah,
They have to cough up the money
exactly,
for that.
because private isn't
Hmm.
cheap. They and if you don't have insurance, and insurance is expensive, and they don't cover
Yeah,
everything also, but at least it would help you.
exactly. Because private, like we said, private not cheap. As a cough, you
Mm-hmm.
get charged. You breathe in the air, you
Yeah,
get charged. You use the cotton, you get charged. Everything.
yeah. For every little thing they charge you.
That's just stepping on the top, the doctor they don't start charging you.
They'll just examine you for a surgery just to make them look
Yeah.
funny and tell you how much the surgery will cost. You get
Mm.
charged.
Yeah. And
I
the
feel
people I
like
really feel
all
for are the people who have children, man.
and I feel like all like frontline workers should have their insurance paid. If you're sacrificing your life, it should be given to you. Like you don't have to fight for it. It should already be there.
Mhm.
Your health insurance, your life insurance, whatever. But
Mhm.
mainly health.
I absolutely agree with you because, for example, we just survived the COVID pandemic, and
Yep.
hundreds of healthcare workers were working at the time, I've heard, and majority of them weren't even compensated properly for being exposed to that, going through that, working in those conditions. And initially, we didn't know much about the virus. Like right now, streets to say that really have that deep, like how it initially come out. 'Cause when it initially come out, they just isolate everybody, you and host, everybody in the house. Stay inside, wash your hands, mask, hazmat
Yep.
suit. Yeah, but nowadays they're like, okay, that deep, let's wear a face mask and social distance, etc.
Mm-hmm.
etc. Initially when it
Mm-hmm.
came out, we didn't know much about this. And a lot of healthcare workers went in, they themselves got sick, they lost their lives, they their mental health was greatly affected, like watching people die, etc.,
Mm-hmm.
etc. And they were not compensated for this. That's the messed up part.
Definitely.
That also feeds into the reason why many individuals are leaving the country. Even the teachers in school, like at the time in school, I remember they had a lot of restrictions, like they were telling kids social distance. The teachers, I know some teachers personally who were buying their own wash basins and their soap for the classroom because that wasn't provided in a budget for them. But they did it to make sure that their kids are okay. They were not compensated for that. A lot of them use their own money to fix up their classroom, to take care of their students. And then yet they wonder why are our skilled professionals leaving?
We have a healthy country that is satisfied with their living wages and their living conditions, I don't think they would choose to leave.
Exactly.
I think they would choose to
Exactly.
stay
hmm And
because,
one thing,
you
they
know,
have better opportunities out there. Like money have to make, picnic have to feed, bills
mm,
have to pay. So I was stay at the struggle to bill, paycheck to paycheck when even opportunities are out there.
speaking of opportunities, do you think we have lots of opportunities in Belize, or do we need to create our opportunities?
That is a lovely
So,
point that you just brought up because there are opportunities in Belize, but then again, the issue of micro corruption, a lot of people have complained that they have applied for positions, either like in government or other sectors, and they notice certain people who have certain connections getting preferences because the opportunities are there, but who are the opportunities available to?
mhm, you're qualified for the job and you can
Get
do
the
the job properly. I
position.
feel like that person should get the job, or somebody who is unqualified, rather than like just because they know the person they get the job. I don't think that's right.
And that's how it should be. And it's a rampant issue. And we've seen it in both governments. So we see one political
Mm-hmm.
party coming into power, and all of a sudden you see skilled workers leaving their positions and they're being replaced by new people who have
Exactly.
affiliations with a particular political party. And when another government comes into party now, you see the same thing repeating itself. Like people who are good at
Mm-hmm.
their jobs, they have great performance appraisals, they're doing well in their posts,
Mm-hmm.
yet they're being removed and replaced by people because of links, because of connections. Or you see people
Yep.
who have like poor performance, people have made reports, they have given incidents about things happening with this particular individual, but because they are affiliated with a particular somebody in power, somebody powerful, somebody got money, somebody got links, they're staying in these positions, even though they're not qualified and they're not doing the job properly. As that one thing
Mm-hmm.
to make me say you're not qualified. Now, next thing is you go in there, you know you're not qualified and you still do foolishness. Instead of if you try at least learn the job and do it well. I felt like a problem in I Belize. And not now a lot of people complain about the government sector. Because like I say, a lot of people said at home, the system messed up, the system rigged. People try apply for jobs or people there in the system, they try get their paperwork done
Mm-hmm.
and they're not seeing any headway. For example, Some individuals, when they retire, they try to go and get their claim for their pension, because they have serviced our country, they should be able to benefit from it. But then they get their run around. They get being sent here, being sent to that office, because the people who are in those positions, who are in charge of processing those papers, they don't know what they're doing. They have no idea what they're doing. They just got in those posts because they happen to know somebody, or somebody speaks for them because they mark no Auntie Susie or Auntie Susie that me say that me see that when she was small, or Auntie Susie that friend, or Auntie Susie oh she mark something, so she get it. Like, we need to actually consider, aside from getting in by like positions or by connections, are these people actually suitable for the job positions that they're acquiring?
Girl, most of them aren't.
That's
uh,
the fact.
but it's true, most of them aren't. Like, what are the qualifications? Like, you only see like a few government job postings, like
Hmm.
a few. How about the rest? Like, you don't see all of the job postings for the government. You only see a few.
Hmm. Not even the job postings, even like situations like scholarships. There have been
Oh yeah.
issues where individuals have applied for scholarships, like scholarship applications. Oh, they say, okay, all are free to apply. And the funny
Mm,
thing is, the people who actually need assistance with funding their education, they're not getting it. And these people have good grades, they have good background, they meet all the qualifications. But it's individuals who have links, who have parents who can afford to pay because they happen to know somebody, they're getting the scholarships. Like, what the heck? And Streets is
yes,
saying, allegedly, there was this one
not
particular
street.
situation where an individual that got a scholarship, and they looked into it because it's a very good scholarship. Everything covered: feeding, accommodation, transportation. But then come
Mm-hmm.
to find out, dug into it, there were other individuals who applied for this particular scholarship and they did not get it. They're from low income homes. They fit the perfect role to get the scholarship. But the individual that was awarded it, come to find out, her other siblings have been awarded similar scholarships in the past from the same family or not. That's not an issue. And they have been
Oh
awarded the
wow.
scholarships. Yep, they finished the program. They're working and earning in a high income field. So they could afford to assist her if she wanted to. But the mother has links, so she was able to get scholarships for each of her children. Now, is that right? When there are other children who are underprivileged who do not have access to these resources, who their family members aren't as privileged, who don't have as much income, they're applying for this scholarship application, this opportunity, and they're not getting it. Like, what is going on?
How you got like the upper class and the middle and lower class? Like, there's always that imbalance in
Yeah,
society. I don't think. Do you think we can ever be stable with each other?
girl, it's gonna take a lot of
With
work.
with
It's
with
gonna
these
take a lot of work.
um these class wars with the upper class and the middle class and the lower class? You think?
I don't believe that we will ever come to a consensus where we will all be seen as equal, but I do believe that we can work towards a more equitable society where someone who is in need of something, if they are in more dire need of it, that the resources should be adequately allocated to them. And we have to work
Yes,
towards that together as a society. Because if the resources are available, and even though I know I did well, and I still want more because he did it, and I able to access it, even though I know that there's someone else who needs it way more than I do, and they probably will not be able to access it. Me taking more from the resources, from the available resources, and not being willing to share it with others is plain point blank period wrong, because
yes.
it's easy to do it when I don't have the position to take it. Because today, like what I
Mm-hmm.
said, but today for me, tomorrow for you, I could take it today and I said I good, but only God knows tomorrow.
Places like, let's say, America, right, where they're having like you can say it with a cross war.
Yeah, America a mess. America been a mess, but it's a pretty mess. Honestly, America
Girl,
been a
it
mess
was
because it was so funny watching this election thing fall out.
and what's funny is the people that voted for Trump, the MAGA supporters, now they're like,
Mm,
I didn't know it would affect me. Girl, you're
yeah.
in the lower class. Of course
Mhm.
it's going to affect you. You're
And
not
it's so
them.
funny because they
They
thought,
just
oh,
yes, they
that
just
he's
want
gonna do
your
it to
vote.
them. Yeah, and they got
Yeah.
it, and now they bounce. They're like, okay, we don't know you
And
like that. We
yes,
whatever that cool. You can't hit from my side of the club. You can't even get in.
it's like yeah. They don't have the tax bracket really.
Hmm. Hmm.
That's
They
a
don't care
different tax
about race
bracket.
or if you black, white. If you have the funds,
Yeah.
that's what's
Mm,
up. Yeah,
yes,
because they were busy
the
voting, they were like
independent.
pro Trump,
Yes.
da 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 da. And now that they've
Yeah.
seen the effects of the actions that they voted for, they're like, oh, I thought you
Yeah.
meant for them,
They're
not
like
for us.
yes.
And like, you're
Because
not
they
like
saw
us.
like
You're not like us. Kendrick Lamar.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because they passed laws that like ban trans people from entering the sports
Sports,
like
yeah.
teams or something like
So using
playing in
bathrooms
sports.
and
And
whatnot.
then yes, and then they wanted to ban gay marriage, and then they wanted to
Mm-hmm.
deport illegal immigrants. And
Mm-hmm.
these like people thought like it wouldn't affect them, but it is going to affect you. Like these farmers are losing workers, like
Yeah.
they barely have like vegetables right here. I mean,
Mm-hmm. Cost of produce is going up.
the eggs, yep, the eggs is very expensive over there.
Mm-hmm.
I hear allegedly.
And yes, girl, I said the other day, I said somebody post the egg. Name the 24 eggs, you know. Name the dozen, half a dozen,
Girl,
6 eggs, 6 bomba eggs,
no,
$18. I'm at the US.
no, I saw.
Ooh.
Yes, I saw. Girl, I saw a video yesterday, and the guy was showing eggs. I think it was a tray of eggs,
Mm-hmm.
and it cost 49.99.
That's
Almost
crazy.
that's like $100 for a tray
That
of
is
eggs. I'm not
crazy.
eating eggs if I I
Girl,
will not be eating.
who
If
needs
I were
eggs
American,
anyways?
I would be starving.
Yeah, there's other forms of protein. It ain't that deep. It is not
Girl,
that
trust me.
deep.
I mean, girl, if I'm in America right now, I mean, I buy a lot of chicken and raise it, sell my eggs.
Yeah. DIY chicken project. Make my own fried chicken from scratch. Girl, but it is a lot is going on in the US right now, honestly, and
Yes,
I'm just
and it
waiting,
is,
anticipating the trickling down effect it's gonna have in Belize. Because like we
yeah,
mentioned
it is,
earlier, we are heavily influenced by the
girl,
West.
girl. I just want to know if it's true that our Belize currency is pegged to the US currency because if it is pegged and if their currency goes down, their
Mm,
economy goes down, we go down.
down two. That's it for sports. That's a wrap.
Dead.
Yeah, and you see, like the minimum wage already can't afford a burger with fries. Imagine if the currency get
Mm.
affected worse more. I can't afford even the fries myself. Just I could
And I
afford
and
me
I
to a
think
bottle of juice.
and I feel like people underestimate the power United States has
Yeah.
as a country because they hold a lot of power.
And we, to some extent, do give them some leverage over us because, as we mentioned earlier,
Mm-hmm.
we are heavily influenced by the West. A lot of things that we see being adopted in the West, we try to
Girl.
adopt it into our country, even if we aren't, like, up to a
Yep.
similar standards, if we can't sustain it. And we rely heavily on a
Mm-hmm.
lot of free handouts from the US. Albeit we appreciate that, we need it. We do rely heavily on a lot of handouts. We need to chill on that. We need to become more
Mm-hmm.
self-sufficient.
That's very true, girl. And that's why I support like young entrepreneurs in this country. Like,
Hmm.
go ahead, girlfriend, do your. I wish they would start doing like cars and phones and AI and go into technology, creating products, creating brands, because you know what, that will make our countries more stronger
Hmm. I love that
and
you
it will
mentioned
get us
that.
developed.
It starts with us. We have to start it here at home.
Yes,
Because a lot of
girl.
Belizeans, like what you said, the issue with the brain drain, we are losing a lot of skilled
Mm-hmm.
intellectuals. But we need to
Yep.
also remember that if we build our country, it make it better for we, not
Mm-hmm.
just for the government, not for just
Because
anybody, but for we and the future generations. Mm-hmm. The Belizeans are so skilled and talented. I believe we can do it.
yes,
It just
girl.
takes one person. Maybe it can be me or you, girl.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it could be one of could
Yes.
start the trend and let it trickle down from there, invest in small businesses,
Yes.
help them grow. And I feel like
Cause
we do have people who are trying, but you're not easy out there. You're not cheap to start a business. And
mm-hmm.
most banks are like Belize and Scotia, Bank Heritage, Atlantic. A lot of them are reluctant to give out loans to people who don't have like a 9 to 5 job, like a
Yes.
steady income flow. That one next thing when they
Or
limit
like
people and hinder them from starting. Yeah, streets is saying allegedly, like, let me say, but people are saying that if the economy does crash, they're hoping that the housing market also crashes as well because it'll make it like house and landing more affordable. Not just in Belize, but in the US too. I like how Trump is power now and he's doing a lot of changes. He's revamping the whole system. Though somebody, not me, they're saying that they're hoping that the system does crash so that it makes housing, the cost of living, and buying land more affordable. And I'm like,
mm-hmm.
you know what? I see the
Ooh,
vision. I'm not hoping for it, but I
as
see
a
the vision.
girl, as we're on the topic of Trump, I just saw like a video where this guy was saying that one of the things that Trump signed, like I think
Mhm.
legislations, I don't know, he signed that he won't be helping those one of those companies or I don't know what organization that helps farmers in the US. And so now
Oh.
it's affecting him and he voted for
Mm.
Trump. And somebody in
Mhm.
the comment commented, he said, I'm not sorry for you. I'm waiting for your farmland to go on sale so I can buy it and put
Oh
nice condos on
no.
it and so I can get rich. I was like, ah,
Oh my. Sorry,
yes,
not sorry. They messed around and they found
yeah,
out. What's all I'm gonna
yeah,
say? Messed around and found out.
girl,
Because like
girl,
you mentioned, he did say that he was gonna do this stuff, but a lot of people thought that he
mm-hmm.
was gonna do it to them. But now that it's
Yeah,
directly affecting them, they're not seeing the issue. Because when he was publicly
mm-hmm.
campaigning, he's gonna do this to immigrants, he's gonna do this to the LGBTQ community. Everybody was like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
yay, go Trump. But now that it's
Yep,
affecting everybody, like the affirmative action, DEI,
girl,
now they're saying, oh, I did
can you
not know
hear
I was
me?
included in that. I can hear you. Hello?
Okay, that's, I can
So
hear you,
like
I can hear you.
I sound like Melania Trump. Hello?
Girl, have you seen the video? I love my suitcase.
Uh, and one good thing that's gonna come out of the Trump administration, the memes. The man is
Girl,
entertaining. Like
and that
initially he just came out. I have
and that
concepts of a plan. They're eating the dogs.
girl,
They're eating the cats. He just got in and he's already making memes. He's giving us content. The man is entertaining. And the
I
whole
don't know why.
deportation fiasco, like some people were saying that people who weren't even immigrants were also getting picked up and deported, like people who were born in the US, who are
Yep,
US citizens. And he's talking
and then
about
there's
immigrants coming in and taking resources, but majority of
yep,
the immigrants are working and they're paying taxes.
but you see, they're talking about immigrants, right? But their ancestors
Hmm.
didn't own that land before. They took it from the Native
Oh,
Americans. They
clock
are the
it.
real Americans.
Clock it. You know what was messed up during the deportation fiasco as well? Do you know that they were picking up some Native Americans
But where will they
on their
go?
own land? Exactly. What part that drop there? On their
Where
own
are they
land.
going?
I said, Jesus Christ, Zechariah. You done out the people for the land, no, you want to port there for the one land? What a thing.
Exactly.
And I'm surprised
Exactly.
that that didn't even make the news, that didn't even
Mm-hmm.
make headline as it should have. Because how you pick up people from the oil land and you try to deport them? No part was in me.
Mm.
It's like you're trying to deport the indigenous Maya from Belize. No part was in me.
I don't know, girl.
Real.
That's but that's crazy though. It's just like it just makes you think about like how people think. Like, do they think?
Mhm. And it just goes to
Do
show
you
that a
think?
lot of the people that voted, they don't even really know how America works.
Exactly. They don't know about a lot of things. And you
Mm,
know, what they do to the Department of Education. They were like there is no more Department of Education. I think I saw something about
yeah.
that. I'm like, what?
The gun
So it's
in
who?
exist
Yes,
again.
like
Zoot soup.
yes, like so
As
like
if
I
the
thought
issue with
like
school
education
shootings wasn't enough, they dismantled the
girl
whole department. Like what?
girl.
Come
It's just
on.
crazy how in America like the law for guns, like you can just go in and buy into like Walmart and buy a gun. Hmm?
Not a Walmart. Yes, that's true. Walmart did AK-47. The Walmart gun.
Ratatata.
It's true.
Ratatata.
Ratatata. You walk right into Walmart, they're on
Ratatata.
display. You can get there for free. Wala talking.
Girl, you think we could do that in a Belize? You'd love to get
Mm-mm.
arrested.
I need a license. I need to prove what I use the firearm for. Oof, it
Yep.
ain't that easy. It's crazy. And these are the issues that they should be focusing on instead of deporting hardworking immigrants who are actually
Yep.
paying their taxes.
Exactly.
Because they don't
And
see
and
immigrants are coming in as immigrants. They're not seeing that, okay, these people are actually working. They're even paying more taxes than some of the people who are citizens in the US. Majority of US citizens actually benefit more from all of these assisted programs than the immigrants themselves. At the end of the day, as bad as it is in other countries, also,
yeah,
Belize is doing okay compared to the rest of the world right now. We could be doing better. We have a long way to go, but with a try, if the effort,
Belize will become better if we as
um,
like a people come together. We start becoming very innovative. We start supporting one another. We start to put our investment into our own country. Like we start making up
definitely,
businesses. Like because if more money is coming into our country, that's like a big plus for us.
definitely. And Gen Z, the upcoming
Yeah,
generation, we
exactly.
are different. We are not taking any BS lying down. Like
Yeah.
we are the generation of change. We are not taking any institutional norms. Like we go into the workplace and we see, okay, they do this X, Y, and Z. Just because that's the way it's been done for a generation doesn't mean that it's
Mm-hmm.
right. We are a revolutionary generation, and I love that about us. We're not just to take it with a gut in,
Mm-hmm.
with a point out the wrongdoings, and we're making changes, we're making recommendations. So I feel like my
Exactly.
generation is gonna be the generation that changes beliefs for the better. Gonna call it a day.
Surely.
Thank you all for
Yeah.
listening. Tune in back next week for our next episode. We'll see what's going on, what's hot on the streets, and catch up with Carla and Jollof.